Welcome everyone to the Whovians cast episode 462. I'm your host, Matrixlord 212. Here's Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hey.
What's up, Mike D?
Hello.
Alright, so let's get your reaction. I want to get a capture on video. Chris.
Oh man. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I think that this was a reveal that a lot of people had already had an idea about what was going to happen, but nobody was sure. And even if you've been saying it for months, like you thought she was the master or whatnot, when she said it, it was like you never even thought of it. It was just like, wow.
Yeah.
It was just one of those moments that even if you knew about it, it was still amazing.
I still love every minute of it. Chris, they faked you out before Mr. Ryan. And then my mouth was open.
Yep.
I got chills. I had to watch it like 12 times.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like I was telling Mike too. I was even more speechless that Clara turned on him.
Yeah.
But besides that, when she's talking to Danny Pink and he crows while she's on the phone, I was even shocked with that. Moffat really, I gotta say, he really pulled out the stops with this one.
Because see, there was a minute there when they had Clara in I guess there was a volcano. There was a minute there where I thought that they were going to say that Clara somehow becomes Missy, from there, and she was like her whole point was trying to bring Danny back, and I was like, oh, maybe that's why she called the doctor her boyfriend, because everyone called him that when he was, Matt Smith's doctor.
Right.
And then, oh yeah,
they did the trailer. They did the trailer perfectly.
Yeah, whoever edited that together did a really, really good job. They
really believe that they took Taurus away from him.
Yeah.
Clara.
It's crazy.
Nice job.
That was a great shot of her standing in the road all alone as traffic was going by. The segue that they did from her running out there and sirens to her just being out there standing in the middle of the road.
And her grandmother just chilling with her, talking to her. She's like saying all this weird stuff. Like you knew that she was done. Like nervous breakdown. She's like, everything's boring. Like, what are you talking about? It's just she's saying weird stuff. I just can't get over that she did that. Like, why didn't you just ask him? She really thought he would say no. What's up, Mongoo? You there, Mongoo? Yours? What's up, bro?
How you doing, guys?
All right. What do you rate it, Chris?
This episode?
And I rated it 10.
I'm giving it like a 9.5 out of 10. I can't think of any. Honestly, I know we want to get everybody's rating, but the one thing I wanted to say before I forgot was, it didn't even hit me that symbol for 3W was the Cybermen's eye until I saw the two doors close, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it was another really, this episode was probably one of my favorites of all of them that I've seen so far.
Mike D. Would you rate it?
I would say that, yeah, I'd give it a 9 at least.
I loved it. Mongoo?
Out of all of them so far, probably, a 9 or 10, because I like the idea that we didn't see it coming with Missy being the master, and the cliffhanger as well. It left us with a cliffhanger for the next one. So I think a 9 or 10.
Yeah, you didn't even show trailer, nothing.
Yeah. But you kind of know what's something worse is going to happen in the next episode.
Well, I can certainly see now what they were going for in the previous episodes, like back with Kill the Moon, where the doctor was giving Clara like a choice to make with things, and you can kind of see how that played into him kind of testing her to see how she was going to react with the keys. Like if her judgment was sound or if she's getting a little bit too full of herself with things.
Why do you have 7 copies of the key there?
He probably just made backups just in case. My thing was, does he really need a key if he can just snap his fingers and the door's open?
That's weird.
Yeah, but that doesn't that not count? I thought Riversong said that was only one future version. She didn't say how many.
He just did it the other episode. He snapped his fingers.
Did he?
Yeah.
See, because I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought that she was going to, like, burn all the keys, and then he was going to snap his fingers and the doors were going to open. He was going to be like, he was going to say something smart or, like, you know, just be like, you know, you think you could outthink me or something. And then he goes in there. I was even thinking maybe that's why the TARDIS doesn't like her, because it knows that she's going to do that.
Yeah, but she connected with the TARDIS to do that.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I forgot all that stuff when I saw what happened. I just said, oh, okay. And then
I thought it'd be pretty dark if she threw all the keys out, and then he did, as you said, snapped his fingers and the doors open, and he just left her ass there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Could do that. I mean, I didn't know that. So, like, the whole time he could have just clicked his fingers, and instead he was more worried about the keys. But like,
it was more for the test. You know, he was testing to see if she would really do it. Being in control the whole time, you know.
Yeah, kind of knew that she was gonna be bad. Like, 'cause she's obviously turning evil as well.
So what did your dog think of the episode there, Joe?
Oh, what's the dog's name?
She loved it. Zoe.
Zoe. Well, she can't even hear us. I'm just shouting on here. I've got this moron here. Sleep.
Alright, I'll let you guys talk for a few. Hold on a second. Grab that.
So what's the whole thing with like Missy's TARDIS? Like, was all this going on inside the TARDIS, you think, or like her TARDIS, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think that would I think that would be a cool idea to say that maybe that building was her TARDIS, so that like maybe we could get like another one. So, you know, you can say, look, this is the Doctor's, this is hers. You can see how different they can be, because I think our new fans have like this idea that it's always going to look like that, not necessarily the outside, but the inside. But if you say no, it could look like whatever they want. I think that would be a cool thing to throw in there.
But then Joe mentioned in the last cast, like how Missy was there with the Doctor when they were coming out of the building, and then she just kind of like popped up sitting on the steps, like a distance away from the building.
Yeah. You know what was another weird thing to me is when those Cybermen were coming out of the building, it looked to me like nobody could see them other than the Doctor and her. And then they started walking out, and I think people started reacting to them more. I just thought that looked a little weird. I was like, can nobody else see them other than those two? Or
like like a dreamland or something. Or is that because of the Nevisphere, the whole Nevisphere thing? Maybe only they can see it, and like everyone else just carried on as normal, didn't they? What was she like? What did she go again? Oh, it's like we're at a football match.
Yeah. She said another mad Scotsman or something like that running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to I didn't mean to cut you off, but it makes sense to why in the previous episode, if she was responsible for that solar flare, because if that would have wiped out the whole planet, she could have had an army, like a planet-wide army of Cybermen. It's crazy.
But what would have made them, right, because we now know it's the Master, what could have made the Master this powerful? Like, to be able to do all this that the Master couldn't do before? That's what I want to know. Who gave the Master all this ability all of a sudden to be able to do all these things? And, you know, whereas before we never saw anything like this from the Master, really.
I think it's going to take some time to sink in the ramifications of what they've hit us with. And I'm sure they're going to embellish upon those in like the next series, or at least another episode coming up soon after the one we're getting, or maybe even the next episode. But yeah, there's definitely some questions that would beg to have an answer.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, you know, what about when John Sim was the Master? He never had half this ability, did he really?
Well, you know what it could be, and this I'm probably wrong, but he didn't have Time Lord technology. This version does. And because think about what Johnson would have done if he had just like a meager piece of Time Lord technology. Like look what he did with his laser screwdriver. I mean, he screwed a whole bunch of people over with that. Now he's got this thing, that Matrix thing that he has, and he's controlling life and death, or she's controlling life and death.
Well, the interesting thing too is like where is the TARDIS from? Where did she acquire that?
I thought the red telephone box was the TARDIS at one point, but then
because that showed up in the last episode too.
Yeah,
it was there in a few shots.
That's why I thought maybe that was it. But now we're starting to talk about is all that going on in her TARDIS.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not. Maybe after all, it's not like. I'd be surprised. I was a bit like in the episode. I did think. Maybe because we were talking about it, I don't know, but I thought Amy and Rory thing might have happened with the grave, with the skeletons and things like that.
I have an idea about that, because think about this. We don't know how long the Master's been doing this.
Yeah.
So what if they were doing this throughout all of Matt Smith's time as the Doctor? Like not like I mean like in the show, not like not in a writing standpoint, but like what if Amy and Rory wind up becoming like not coming back into the show, but like they're shown to be like a part of whatever's going on.
This thing, because they could do that. Because if you think about why did the Weeping Angels keep reappearing and all of a sudden didn't it zap Rory back in time and then Amy went back, isn't it? And technically they were dead, weren't they, on gravestones?
And this is when you really think about this too. This whatever the Master has here. Their influence is stretching not only in the present, but it's going in the past with that clockwork droid, and in the future with that girl that died into the Dalek. So who knows how far that we could have other races that are affected by this. You could have, who knows? Like with this story, the reason I like it so much is they could go crazy with this if they want. They totally.
I think there's no boundaries at all with this storyline. Like they can go any direction. They can do what they want with this, really. I mean, we're coming up with so many crazy ideas. The library is the uplink. I mean, this it's brilliant.
Oh, that is a good idea.
It's what you want as a Whovian, right? You want to not know and predict the next storyline. You want to be like, gee, where are we going with this? Right. That's what you want.
I was totally didn't know what the hell was happening when the TARDIS just landed there, and I'm like, wait, it can go to hell too, and like heaven. I'm like, I
literally thought he told her to go to hell. I was like, wow.
So did I at first.
Yeah.
I know that's what my missus said to me. Did he just say go to hell to Clara? And then I thought, no, it's a double meaning because the TARDIS.
And then she said to him, no friend ever did that. Literally what he was going to do for her. Like, she was just like, well, didn't you know you guys were close before? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, well, there's going to be a reckoning with that, they're still in the midst of trying to, put some fires out with things going on. There's going to be a reckoning that's going to lead to her departure, I bet, directly tied into that thing that happened at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah,
you want to know what I have this really weird idea that I think I know what's going to lead to her departure, because you noticed that she took that sticky note off that bookcase.
At the start.
But did anyone see what it said?
No.
I think she's pregnant.
Who? Clara?
Yeah. I think that's what's written on that sticky note.
Maybe that's why she did what she did, because she was just...
Oh, because she's going through the motions. Oh, that's true. That could be true. Could be so. It's Danny Pinks, and that's why
they'll fight with her. Her and Doctor will fight at the end. And then she's like, "How can I trust you?" She's like, and she gets really mad. She's like, "Oh, right."
I predict
explains everything. Yeah.
I predict that her departure is going to be directly tied in with her trying to make good on the bad that she did in that situation. That she feels like now she's got something to have to prove to make things right with him, and it's going to directly be tied in with that. to make good on things with him. Whether that means like self-sacrifice somehow, or even just a situational sacrifice on her end.
Because I don't think they're going to kill her off, because that would be like, how many companions have they killed off recently? I mean, it would be, again, like another one.
Yeah, true. It's hard. That's the beauty of it. You just don't know what's going on in Stephen Moffat's head. Don't know. I mean, like, to be fair, I loved Russell T Davis's stuff, but in some of the episodes, to be fair, kind of was a little bit predictable in some of them. Whereas, I don't know, with Stephen Moffat, I'm lost. Like, the name of the Doctor as well, I never thought he was going to have John Hurt turning around. I mean, that was a shocker altogether. So, I think with Missy being the Master, I mean, who saw that? Did you honestly see that coming? I did. I'm not in a million years.
I mean, everyone said like she's going to be the Master, but I think that was like, I think that was because you go online and whenever there's somebody who we don't know who it is, there's a new character. You always get those main three responses are it's the Master, it's the Doctor's daughter, or it's like a tie between a new character or Clara, yeah, something like that. I think everyone jumped to it's the Master, but I think Moffat really subtly once said he's not coming back. He's not coming back.
Yeah, he said that. I get it. Yeah, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
I still think John Sim should get a regeneration scene. Otherwise, he'd be another one on the bandwagon for the 100th anniversary. Where's my regeneration scene?
I think we'll see.
That's what he's saying.
I just want to know why he's so angry, because I thought at the end of time, the Doctor and him were kind of like, we're on the same page now, but
I guess he wanted him to go save him because he saved him, and he didn't. He just left.
He didn't. Yeah, he just left him.
And she said as much.
She did.
Yeah.
Well, what did she say again?
She said you left
Mike.
me. You left me for dead.
Yeah.
Because he was about to become a skeleton. Like, he was using all his energy. So he would have had to regenerate.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He kind of flashed into a skeleton for a few seconds.
The only thing that can cure this regeneration. Stop that.
So does it tie in with the 50th anniversary then? When they moved Gallifrey? Is she got Gallifreyan technology?
I have no idea.
Or does it explain the whole reason, like I think Mike said before about the reason why the Time Lords gave him a new set of regenerations was so he could help the Master or whatever, to help him find Gallifrey?
I don't know, but I think that Oswald's going to be the friend.
Well, I mean, is there something to the point about Clara pleading with the Time Lords about giving the Doctor another set of regenerations that somehow tied in with this whole thing?
What, when she kind of pleaded at the crack in the wall and said, his name is the Doctor?
Yeah, like maybe, but like as far as we know on the Time Lords end, that there was something that they did with the Master that they implemented to kind of throw him back out there.
Like a bargain. They might have bargained, is it? So, like, if they gave him more regenerations, the Master was allowed to come back, or
yeah, because we know, like, I'm thinking, obviously, the Masters like had this avarice against the Doctor for like however many years, in their time, not even ours, watching the show. But I mean,
since they were kids, yeah,
they inevitably butt heads and run into one another at some point. So they might have given him a whole new cycle of regenerations because they were like, hey, we don't know how many it's going to take for them to run into each other again. So, here's a whole new cycle. There could be a whole agenda at work there. And we know that the Time Lords have used the Master before on more than one occasion.
And if he could regenerate indefinitely, what do they care if he can regenerate indefinitely? Because eventually he will find Gallifrey.
And they know that it's going to take the Doctor to remedy this situation. So they could be the master gamesman, like using the Master as a tool to get the Doctor to do what they need.
It would make more sense as well. The reason how they just like that gave him regeneration energy as well. And
there's Clara at ground zero in the midst of this again at a very important point with the Doctor, with making things happen.
This is where it's going, isn't it? This is all about Gallifrey. That's where this is going.
Because remember, Missy even was saying, my Clara. So obviously that sounded more like an endearment, like like the Master knows there's some grand scheme going on
she said
here.
that because that's why she killed Danny Pink, because to get the doctor there. Like Missy did that.
Yeah, and Missy's
he never got hit by that. They just planned for that.
and Missy's been sitting back as the master gamesman, knowing, but see, the Time Lords could be even manipulating the Master, and the Master's thinks that he is kind of behind the whole scenario when in fact the Master's being used. Maybe that's going to be leading up to like some big thing where the Doctor and the Master are going to have to team up to get something done with Gallifrey.
Well, this kind of goes back to what we were saying before, because remember, somebody gave Clara the number to the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
So if they say that this was Missy that gave her the number, right? That means that her influence has been going since Matt Smith's been around.
But it wasn't, because she didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
So it wasn't her.
Yeah, because she said the woman in the shop gave me the number, so she remembered the face of the woman. It wasn't her, was it? So there's someone else who really wants them to stay together. So God knows who that is. That could be River.
You just said my Clara, because she was going to kill Danny Pink. That's why. Because that's the way to get to the Doctor. Because Clara goes nuts. She knew that. That's why she says, my Clara, I've chosen well, meaning she chose Danny Pink to plant him into her life.
I'm interested to see what happens in the next one. I really am, because I think we're going to get a lot of our answers there.
And no question.
See, I think they're going to leave it more open-ended to create more drama and to create more of a want to get those answers.
I have a suggestion. What if the Roger TARDIS and the Day of the Moon TARDIS, the Silence TARDIS, what if that's actually the Masters? And Madame Corvarian get it back to the Master?
I'd be surprised if it's all not linked, because you know what they're like.
That was a TARDIS. And it was used by the Silence, who was working for Madame Corvarian. And it was in Day of the Moon. It was in right in possible astronaut that became Roger. So,
but that would work more towards the belief that the Time Lords would be trying to help the Doctor as much as possible by giving him that set of regenerations to work against the cult that were trying to kill the Doctor, because if there's no Doctor, then their hope is lost for coming back.
Maybe they knew. Like maybe the Master, like, all right, from like the end of time, he goes. Let's assume. I'm just assuming here that he goes to Gallifrey after that. What if like somehow he stole that Time Lord technology?
That's what I think.
The Time Lords kind of knew what he was going to do with it, so that's why they sent the regenerations to the Doctor, because they knew not only is he their only hope of getting out of that pocket universe, but he's the only one who could stop the Master.
They weren't waiting for the Doctor to talk for everybody else.
Right.
Cloud.
Yeah.
They saw that Cloud was the companion.
Yeah.
So the moment she spoke, it's like, oh, this is the right point in time to give him regeneration.
This almost is like kind of like a pyramid sort of thing, where it's kind of like those wooden Russian dolls. Like the bigger one collapses into like a medium, collapses to, like you have the Time Lords, and then they could be manipulating the Master, who's manipulating Clara through manipulating Danny Pink, and the whole thing's about manipulating the Doctor for an overall.
Yeah, unless they, like you guys said, everything that you said was right, but then the Master kind of, when she got all this technology and everything else, she just went her own way and ignored what the Time Lords and Gallifrey told her to do. Maybe she just turned her back on them.
I think that the drums are gone. You don't hear them.
Did you not hear them? Did you not hear they did? Did you not hear they did?
Yeah, but I don't think she could hear him no more.
Oh, you think that was just so we knew who it was? That's why they did the little.
Kind of
Maybe when she regenerated, it completely wiped that out.
Because that was the last incarnation that was supposed to hear it.
Yeah, maybe he was on his last incarnation, like the Doctor was.
No. I mean, the John Sin Master was making him to hear it eventually, so that's all the masters at the time.
he was
that, nobody would hear it.
he was imprinted with that particular incarnation.
Well,
Yeah.
no, all the masters supposedly just hearing it. That's what the point was. They just mentioned it recently. At the moment he looked into temperate schism and heard the drums, which made him mad to go turn evil in the first place.
I don't know.
It could go any way. I mean, I thought it was the Rani for convinced. We had the dinosaur at the start of the episode. We had
all those post-its though. I don't understand what that's about.
What?
Why did she put post-its of all the adventures on the wall? That makes no sense.
It was weird too when she acted like a robot at first.
yeah.
I was
She,
like, what?
did you not know? You knew she was pretending, wasn't she? You
Yeah. I was just I was waiting for them to be like, oh no, she's not really pretending. She really is a robot. And I was going to be like, oh, okay.
She was pretending. Yeah.
Well, the first significant thing that occurred that had me kind of like go back to, because I've always kind of thought Missy was going to end up being the master. I know that's easy to say that now, like thinking back, Monday morning quarterbacking, of course. But when she used, like, I guess the new version of the tissue compression eliminator and like just like incinerated that guy, I was like, yeah, there's some.
The Ronnie would do that.
No. Did you know? Joe? Did you know at that point it wasn't the Rani? When did you know?
Yeah, because Missy was remember she was taunting that guy and she was saying say something nice. I mean that's something the master would do just to relish his power he's got over people.
Yeah, the moment he said mistress, I was like, oh, that's it. I was just like, I really didn't know. Like,
I didn't cop that part when she said mistress. I didn't get it
either because the volume on the thing, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear. What did you say before that?
Well, she said I could hardly, something along the lines that I couldn't.
That I couldn't keep calling myself the master.
No, I heard that.
No, I'll tell you the exact quote because I got it right here.
Mistress, I didn't hear it first, and then I had to watch it.
She said, well, couldn't very well keep calling myself the master now, could I?
The line before that, I didn't hear.
She said, why Missy? Short for mistress?
I didn't hear that. Yeah,
or master? And then that's when she said the line. Now I couldn't keep calling myself that. Yeah. Damn you, Stephen Moffat. You did it again.
And Capaldi's reaction was great when he was just like that face he made. It was just like
pure fear.
Well, it's funny thinking back now too. We haven't really addressed that, but he laid quite a smack on Peter Capaldi's lips there with that long kiss, just kind of like.
Again, something I expect the master to do. As soon as I saw some tweets online like that was really disturbing, and I was just sitting there saying, no, he had to do that. That was something he.
Are you allowed, Joe? Are you allowed audio on here?
No.
Oh, you can't. You're not allowed no audio. Oh, okay.
No.
I was just listening to what she said.
This will come down in 2 seconds.
Oh.
Well, here's the big question, I guess, that's lingering now that my lady friend and I were talking about as soon as the episode ended. She's convinced this is paving the way for a female doctor soon. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is like the test to see what's going on.
Already a test in Flatline.
Between this and Clara from Flatline?
Yeah,
that's true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, this is definitely there. I mean, if they can do that to the master, they can do it with the doctor. They can do it.
It's like we said
we've had this conversation before. I'm counting on it.
I don't want it. But it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any moment now. It is coming. It's coming.
It might not be the next Doctor, but I say
Oh, it will be.
14 or 15.
It would just make sense. A woman doctor fighting
It
a
will be.
woman master.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
We got a cat fighting the TARDIS tonight, boys.
But like, do you agree with this? Because I said this to my girlfriend. She's like, "No way. It's true. You're hardly gonna have Peter Capaldi fighting Missy." So that's why I think it would make more sense that she'll survive or disappear and then come back, and then in that time we'll probably be introduced to a female doctor for them to fight. Because you hardly have a male attacking a female. You know what I mean?
But see, that's what's so great about it. Hold on. That's if we're judging it on a physicality level. But I mean, like, you know, if you think about it, Missy struck me as being the one who was superior over Capaldi during this whole episode. So see, that goes to her ingenuity and her deviousness.
Yeah, it depends how they play it. Because
I think that it would just be cheesy to have, like, oh, the Master's a female, now we have to have the Doctor be a female. I think that's just like, why? Is that an unwritten rule? I mean, why can't you have the hero or the villain be?
Well, you know what? We're overlooking the hold on real quick to address that. We're overlooking the obvious, though. This could be the reason and the conduit by which we're going to have a female Doctor is because maybe now that the Master's a female, the Doctor maybe in an upcoming episode is going to take on that sort of change of gender for a particular reason.
They gave us the comfort zone of getting used to a female Master, just like Clara being the Doctor, and they basically spread it out for us 4 times.
They're giving you a teaser.
The next Doctor will be a female.
Yeah. It's written in the stars. I mean, they were talking about this like a year ago, weren't they, about a female Doctor coming?
Completely.
Well, they've always been talking about it as far back as Colin Baker.
Really? It goes that far back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Big God. No wonder they introduced like the Rainian people just to give it a teaser to see how it would go. I think. Do you know why? Honestly, the real reason why it will happen is because BBC. Trust me, the amount of kids over here, let alone America, BBC America, BBC UK, they can't. They have to. It has to be both ways eventually, because there's no way. Just can people uproar being what you can have a female Master, but you can have a female Doctor.
No, it's all Moffat's plan.
You think it's just Moffat, no?
Because he did it in his first appearance with Doctor Who as the Curse for the Fatal Death. He made the Doctor become the Master. Make the Doctor female.
That was Joanna Lumley.
What did he do?
We'll show you off here.
Yeah, you have to show me.
Isn't it funny too that was that comedy special, right? That was the 13th Doctor, and we're on the 12th Doctor right now.
It's planned.
Yeah.
So
that's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you get maybe, do you remember River Song said she got a screwdriver off a red screwdriver, wasn't it, in the library? Imagine if that was actually off a female Doctor.
Oh, God.
No. That could be it. It could, she might have got really close to whoever. Because, like, I thought she got it off because John Hurt had a screwdriver. Didn't John Hurt have a red screwdriver, didn't he, in the 50th anniversary?
Go there with the river, singing towers, female.
Yeah, that opens all sorts of doors of possibilities.
Oh, yeah. If you have a female Master and a female Doctor, it's finished, isn't it? Really?
No, you might as well, if he regenerates to a female, you might as well have Jack come back.
Yeah, you might as well just throw everyone back.
Just do it. Just open the floodgates and let everybody in.
You might as well have Eccleston back as a blimmin' Cyberman or something. There's no point.
If they do female Doctor, then the following Doctor would be like a teenager boy. It'll be like
or he'll be American.
19, 20-year-old.
Yeah, I've got something for you. What would you do? Because my girlfriend said she would never watch the show again if the guy who plays Harry Potter regenerated into the Doctor.
Daniel Radcliffe.
What would you do? Because they reckon down the line he's gonna be one. In the UK, all we hear, about it is, oh, they really want Harry Potter one day. All the fans want Harry Potter guy to be the Doctor one day. What would you do if that actually happened?
No.
Honestly, I'd still
He
watch.
couldn't do it. He couldn't do Doctor Who, could he? He couldn't.
But I think a lot of these people that say I'd stop watching are just they're full of it because they'd still watch.
You know,
Doctor
you
Who.
still watch no matter what. Like,
I'd still watch it. No, he could regenerate into a monkey, and I'd still watch. I mean,
I'd be pretty upset, but I'd still watch it.
but
Yeah,
you know,
Joe-
go on.
Oh, sorry about that, man. There might be a slight delay here. Joe and I were talking the other day about when you have a brand, you have a product, and you have like a like series Bible, so to speak, for who characters are, their gender, their actions, all that sort of stuff, to kind of create an outline for a series. And I think it's a real you're getting into dangerous territory with the fan base if you're going to turn the Doctor into a female with a lot of people. I mean, I couldn't say that I wouldn't watch the show, but that's a real big change of a character like that. I mean, it's kind of like taking James Bond and making him a woman and just going a different direction in the series. And
Or Batman or Superman.
yeah, because you have to have some constants. I mean, I think like even that, to me, that's even more drastic than just like doing away with the police box, the iconic image of the police box. I mean,
that would be like that. If they did that, I think that's stepping over the line because I think like that's become the staple of the series, even more so than the Doctor.
Didn't they try that in the Colin Baker episode where they changed it to like a piano and then they changed it to something else? It just didn't work, did it?
Attack of the Cybermen.
I'm like 85%.
Is that the one?
That the Doctor will be a female next time.
Well, don't give them any ideas, Joe. Come on.
It's happening.
No.
After this, it's happening. People love this. It's happening.
Is it too late to like kidnap Moffat and keep him tied up somewhere in a cabin out in the woods? And
It's too late. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I know it.
I mean, I agree. I really do. I mean, I have, like I said, I have my own idea that I don't think it's going to be the next Doctor, but I think
it's the next one.
It will happen.
It would make more sense.
On that one.
Yeah, it would make more sense if it was a female. I mean, he's had
usually the next
with
showrunner. Usually the next showrunner picks, but if Gatiss is the next showrunner, he'll allow it because that's what Moffat wants to do. That's the one thing he wants to do.
now, see, Joe, I know that you and Carol Ann have that Walking Dead bet about Rick dying. This will be the real fun bet to make: is if the next Doctor is going to be a female.
What's the bet going to be?
Do you think they'd lose viewers?
What are we doing? A $25 gift card?
25. Come on, man, make it sporting at least.
All right.
Hey,
we'll
and I say that, by the way, telling you or reminding you that you did get a $130 Tom Baker bust, by the way.
That. All right. So we'll have to think about this. This will be interesting. Okay.
I think there's so much to say in
Think about
so
it.
little time. So much to say in so little time. I think with Stephen Moffat, he's done. You saw him change. What was it Melody Pond when she regenerated, and that was like a Doctor kind of thing. They did the Donna Noble thing, but that was Russell T Davies, right?
Yeah.
So there's been slight hints of it. If you think about it, it's been building up over time. Really, the whole Dr. Donna and things like that, and then the whole in Eccleston's one, what was it, Bad Wolf? You could see everything, and they were slowly creeping it in. And now it looks like, we've got Missy. She's a female. What's next? There's nothing next. Is it the female Doctor? That's
After
it.
that, no. What I just said. After that, it will be a really Doctor.
Well, the weird thing to think about is if it is a female Doctor,